The PlayStation logo, title PlayStation Accessibility, Accessibility Lead Mark Friend.
At PlayStation, we think there is an incredible opportunity to make our platform, games, and peripherals more accessible, so that even more people can enjoy the magic of gaming. We're just getting started with our accessibility journey with PS5, but we're so excited about what we've been able to do so far and our plans for the future.
Buttons slide along geometrically shaped grooves. Title, Controller Accessibility. Product Manager Kazuhiro Yanase. Subtitles.
For game consoles, the controller is one of the extremely important interfaces that connect a player to the world created by the game's creators. Therefore, we believe that the controller itself being accessible is the most important factor in immersing players in the game world.
A controller with raised buttons connected to a joystick. Senior Technical Program Manager Alvin Daniel.
Many of us have a personal story of either knowing someone with a disability or a family member with a disability and wanting them to be able to participate with the PS5. And so it was really us coming together to ask ourselves, what could we do based on all the input we received from the community to be able to craft something that really opened the doors. We've partnered with a lot of outside expert consultants in this area, charitable organizations that help and advocate for gamers with disabilities. Really helped us understand what challenges we needed to solve in order to provide a more accessible controller that was more customizable and more performative for gamers with disabilities.
The circular controller and its parts, Kazuhiro.
One of the main characteristics of this controller is that it can be used simultaneously with other controllers.
He smiles. Views of the two types of controllers.
Specifically, up to 2 of these controllers can be connected to a single DualSense wireless controller at the same time. This feature allows players to freely make choices about the controller according to their own condition, and provides a very high degree of customization.
Alvin.
We want to be inclusive. We want everyone to be able to join this party, no matter who you are.
Title, Game Accessibility, Senior Gameplay Producer, Santa Monica Studio, Kate Marlin.
Some of the most inspiring things that I've seen that have made me want to think more about accessibility is seeing the stories that players have and how much it means to them when they're able to sit down with the game for the first time and play more than they ever thought they could.
Game Director Naughty Dog Matthew Gallant.
To some extent, the principles behind accessibility are good universal design principles.
Seen from The Last of Us Part 1 with captioning.
So thankfully, we're able to think about, okay, well, if this information is only available on screen, well, then it's not accessible to a blind player. Or if this information is something you only hear,
Example.
Joel, the guy up on that second
it's
floor.
not accessible to a deaf player.
Lead game designer Amelia Schatz.
I think as developers, we started with developing accessibility features because we realized that certain members of our audience had special needs and certain things would really block them.
I'm excited for players to try various features that we've created.
Accessibly designed researcher Insomniac Games, Sam Schaffel.
From eye contrast mode, traversal assist, auto pickup, to navigation assist.
Michelle Zarilla.
It really depends on you and what you need. And that could be just a preference. Maybe you have a temporary disability. Maybe you have a permanent disability. Maybe you can't see or you can't hear.
Scenes of Sam and Michelle testing game features and shortcuts. Senior designer Jason Bolt.
I'm a game designer first and foremost, who's also legally blind. I try and make every game I make as accessible as possible.
All sorts of people in the past wanted to play our games, they just couldn't. They just had some limitation that didn't allow them to play our games.
Naughty Dog co-president Neil Truckman.
So it's really exciting that people that have all sorts of limitations can now jump into part 1 and again seamlessly transition into part 2 because they share those same award-winning accessibility features.
Accessibility features on screen for The Last of Us Part 1. Title, PS5 Console Accessibility Level 2, Product Manager Satish Upuluri.
Accessibility is important to PlayStation to achieve our mission, which is to connect people through the power of play, where players of all abilities can share the moments of joy.
A scene from The Last of Us Part 1 with audio description.
As she surveys the apartment, her eyes wander
Brian
to
Parsons.
People who have disabilities, they're constrained by society in the way that we have designed this world. So having products that allow them to experience the world, having accessibility built into our DNA, that's what is so important to me.
The accessibility screen and settings, Satish.
For PlayStation 5, we built a brand new voice platform which powers accessibility features like screen reader, chat transcription, voice command, and voice dictation. All these features make PlayStation 5 more accessible.
Accessibility display, sound and screen reader settings.
After the launch of PlayStation 5, we introduced new functionality like Zoom, mono audio support, adding more language support for screen reader, and improving the screen reader experience by introducing functionalities like play, pause, and repeat. PlayStation 5 offers a wide range of accessibility features.
Example of high contrast mode in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart.
We're taking care of that architectural layer of accessibility so the games can focus on building even cooler experiences.
A user tests God of War Ragnarok, Brian.
The biggest thing about the accessibility features on the PS5 for me, and the thing that I want to make happen, is bringing people back into gaming. We are making this so you can have the same experience and enjoy it like everybody else and be a part of that excitement.
A scene from The Last of Us Part 2 utilizing accessibility features, Mark.
There's still so much for us to discover and do, but we know that by listening to the accessibility community, we can learn how to make PS5 and PlayStation as a whole easier to jump into than ever before for anyone who wants to play.
Words appear. SIE would like to say an additional thank you to the Able Gamers Charity, Special Effect, Stack Up, Danger Systems, and more. For more information, please visit playstation.com/accessibility. Words appear. Play has no limits. The PlayStation logo. Copyright 2023 Sony Interactive Entertainment LLC.